no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go.
Wrap up your Monday with some laughs. Make sure to join Will, Seven, Dan the Dick Warner, and Josie as they dive into the hottest topics of the week across sports, including baseball, basketball, and the NFL. You can catch the episode live Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, or Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss the Sports Report Podcast.
Shit my way, or the highway.
Put the kids to bed, put on your shades, and crack open a cold one during Sports Report After Dark with Seven and Dan the Dick Warner. You can catch After Dark Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, and again Saturday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. We believe that athletes are people too, and Skip Bayless is one of the lizard people. Don't miss Sports Report After Dark. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the infamous, the uncomfortable, the incorrect Sports Report After Dark. I am your host, Seven. My co-host, Dan the Dick Werner, is sitting backstage, getting ready to join us. First, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Gunslinger Soap. Gunslinger Soap is handmade soaps and beard products made without all of the junk to pamper your skin. You can go to their website right now, gunslingersoap.com, and sign up to get 15% off of your first order and always free shipping over $30. That's gunslingersoap.com. Definitely check them out. I want to welcome in my co-host for the evening, my partner in crime, definitely my best fucking friend. Dan the Dick Werner is with us.
What's up, man?
Go ahead.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to give a special thank you to our guests that will be joining us after on Spotify and West Coast Radio. For those of you that are new to the show, to keep things succinct as we open up, we are not appropriate. We swear. We say stuff that we're not supposed to. We are two guys talking about life, having fun, and really just taking our passion for sports to the next level and talking about the deeper pieces, the human side of sports. This is definitely not something that we recommend kids listening to unless you want to have a lot of conversations with them about stuff that you may not even understand sometimes. So I definitely recommend this as a parental discretion advised. We do get explicit on the show. But thank you for joining us. We're happy to be with you. So Dan, on a scale of Russell Westbrook to Giannis Antetokounmpo, how's your day, man?
It's going good. The most accurate thing you said in that little intro piece there was incorrect.
Incorrect.
Most of the time, we're literally just like, well, fuck, we really can't figure that out, can we?
No.
So watch us struggle through an hour and a half of figuring that out loud. There's the ad. Run it.
So I wanted to start today, and the reason that we're starting with this is because this is something that came about as of, or thanks to the media day for the Astros for the preparation for the World Series. And Dusty Baker was getting interviewed, and I'm going to post the give me 1 second here. I'm going to post the link for the article on CBS Sports. It's one of the many articles. I'm pretty sure I saw it on ESPN as well. I just would rather recommend CBS and ESPN for pretty much anything I can. But
Dusty if we continue to say ESPN, Tony,
mm-hmm.
I think that we might get jobs there. I think if we just say ESPN a bunch of times during the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some stuff that'll track that, right?
It summons them. I think it does. I think it summons them.
You should say ESPN 3 times. We don't want any of that nonsense in here. ESPN, it's fucking.
One could agree that they are a combination of Beetlejuice and Voldemort. So saying their name 3 times and them appearing, that's very, very possible.
Like 3 days later, you just get a hologram of Jeremy Schaap. It's either Jeremy Schaap or Dick Schaap. One of them just shows up in your living room. He's like, "Hi, thank you for mentioning ESPN." And it's like we're like, "What the fuck? We're gonna give you guys jobs there, or just keep saying it and we'll pay you."
ESPN. Please come in for your interview / brain chip fitting.
Right.
Wear a suit. Wear a suit to talk about something that you don't wear a suit to do.
Yes.
100%. I have to admit, that is the one thing that has never made sense to me. Right? And you know what? I appreciate these media guys trying to look nice. I don't hate somebody trying to look nice. But when I see, guys like Stephen A., where it's like he's like the Black Barney Stinson when it comes to suits. Like he has to be in a suit. Like unless he's shooting a video mocking the Cowboys from his mansion on Sunday night.
Bro,
he's always in a suit. I don't get it.
They have constant surveys for it. They just ask people. It's constant though. They ask people. Like that's what most people want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like they survey, obviously. Like they do a bunch of like likability shit. Like, oh, do you like them when they're wearing like sports clothes, or does it feel more, like better if they're wearing suits and stuff? And a lot of people say yes. Apparently, I don't know. I don't get it either, but I would love to have those nice suits.
I mean, I can't wear ties. Like, and here's, and it's the thing, because
none of them fit around your neck.
That's part of it. For those of you that can't tell, if you're maybe listening after, my neck is a tree trunk. And so, like, even just having collared shirts buttoned up in my neck, like all the way up to that point where you can wear the tie, like it physically makes my neck swell. Like, I get, like, this tree trunk gets bigger somehow. And
you look like one of those punching bags that's like the dude's torso and his head. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so they make the neck really small so you can't knock the head off of it. That's what you look like. Like one of those pop-up old what's that? Like game?
A home. I'm what you can imagine a Funko Pop for homeless people would look like.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots is what I was thinking.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
You're just like, but you don't ever pop up. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Never get knocked out, bro. Never get knocked
undefeated.
out. Yeah, Rock'em Sock'em. Dusty Baker.
No, but moving on. Sorry, Dusty Baker was interviewed and was asked by the press, and I'm gonna throw that detail on because I think it's important that we consider as we discuss this today. Dusty Baker was asked by the press what he thought about the fact that this is the first World Series since 1950 to not have at least one United States-born African American playing in the series. Okay,
that's crazy.
And he said that he thinks, which he's right, it's not something that baseball should be proud of. Which I don't know why they would be.
Be proud of it, yeah. Not be proud of is the wrong, like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, not be proud of is the wrong word. Proud is not the wrong word. Like, they should probably take notice to the fact that there's not any black guys in the World Series.
Well,
and like, Dusty, they should definitely, yeah.
And Dusty mentioned that it's going to be on the upturn. You know, there's been plenty of recently in Major League Baseball. There's been plenty of number one picks that were African American.
I'm trying to think
of US-born African American.
Joe Adele, I think, is for the Angels.
Right. I mean, Mookie was born in Tennessee.
Obviously, yeah, Mookie Betts being probably the most prominent one, black guy right now, right? I mean, in Major League Baseball.
It's pretty fair.
But, Aaron Hicks is a biracial Angel. So, Andrew McCutchen was good for a long time, but like, why? We talked about it last night, dude, on the hardwood Wednesdays at 10 Eastern. Yeah, but we talked about it last night. I mean, why would they want to play? I just don't know why they would want to play, or it's just not popular where they grow up at. Really, baseball is really not.
Right. And there are a couple of things that and that's something that we have to consider. Now, first off, I think it's dumb that the press are bringing this up. Like, you think baseball doesn't know that there's no black guys?
Oh,
in the World Series? You think they don't know? You think the guys that are playing don't know?
A lot of their fan base is black. A lot of their fan base is black too. I mean, it's that's probably what they should be worried about. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's the thing. Like, there is, but my question is, I would be more focused on in this situation. What is baseball actively doing to change it? Because you can say that there's academies that are churning out good athletes that are pro bound. There's black baseball players in the collegiate system that are all trying to work their way towards Major League Baseball,
right? And
they are, and there are, like, Tim Anderson. What Tim Anderson does, he's got a program in inner city Chicago that is about getting young black athletes interested in baseball.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. When this comes out, though, Tony, I think that they're implying when they bring this, obviously, this out, when Dusty's implying that, but I don't think he's saying that it's like they're not getting opportunities because they're black. I think that they all know that it's like they're just not playing baseball when they're younger. Right. Like they're just not. And like I don't want it to be a thing where it's like, oh, they're not getting, like, dude, black guys would get jobs in Major League Baseball, 100%. If they were playing, there's just none. Like they don't really play baseball that much. Like they really don't. Like
no, and you're exactly right. But it's there. But they should, want representation. This is supposed to be America's pastime. I firmly believe that should be represented on the field. Now, I understand baseball isn't America's pastime anymore. I get that. But if, there are a lot of the baseball purists are going to say, no, this is America's pastime. Okay. The diversity on the field should reflect the diversity in our country.
It should, I guess.
I mean,
I get what you're saying. Like, yes, I get what you're saying.
But the thing is there is not a lot of investments in inner city baseball programs, which is kind of so when there's not a lot of resources and, it's not a very good program, but that same school has a bunch of money in the basketball and football programs.
Right. That's what it's
become. That's where the quality, and that's where the quality, the quality opportunities are.
Right.
Why not? You also have to look at, and one thing that I think that is huge that baseball needs to address is that the money made in the minor league system detracts athletes on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
And when you've got an athlete, especially because most black athletes are very, very talented.
It's a really good point.
They're multi-sport. You look at guys like Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes, who could have played baseball, but they chose football. They chose to get their body beat the shit out of over making more money over the course of their career in football. Or I'm sorry, in baseball.
Right.
Because there's so much more from the popularity side out of basketball and football.
That and the fact that they're 18-year-old kids who are already being built up to a point where it's like, oh, I can go get paid this amount of money now, or I can wait 3 or 4 years, and play in the minors and just be basically broke. And or I can just go get my money right now. Tens of millions of dollars, like right now.
And
you can get going.
That's the thing, and with the fact that, because again, black athletes are super talented, amazingly, most of them are multi-sport. And when you've got the choice, I mean, bye.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. Really.
Right.
Because we hey, you can go make $15,000 for this year. You'll make $20,000 next year, maybe $40,000 the year after that, and then you'll probably get called up and sent back down and forth for a couple of years so they can exploit your rookie contract a little bit more. And what was supposed to only be 6 turns into 10. But eventually, you'll get to where you're making a couple million a year.
And then if you fail,
that's the average experience if you make the pros.
Well, think about it too. Like, what if they don't think they're going to actually make it, or they think they're going to make it, but they actually don't? That's got to be in the back of their minds, right? So like they go through 6 years of the minors, and then they get to the pros, and they just can't cut it because they weren't good enough, but they would have been good enough at another sport. So like that's got to all weigh in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a really good point. Like I like the immediate money. Like they basically get paid immediately, or like you can. Because it takes a long time in baseball, dude. We've talked about it. Like the skill set has to be so refined to play Major League Baseball, dude. Like you have to be so fucking good at like things that aren't natural. Do you know what I'm saying? Like running and jumping in sports is natural. Those are things that become naturally. And like you have to hone these skills. And like, why would you, if you're so raw talented? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're so raw athletically talented, why would you like want to like go through all these things where you have to do all these drills and stuff? Like you just want to like be athletic. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all there is to it. And like and then obviously you have South America and the Latinos who are killing it, and that's because they only have that sport. So we're looking at 2 different things. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
black dudes,
and I think that there is a cultural aspect to it, and
there is,
because but is it something where like where do you like really what should the league do? Because obviously like I said,
fix the minor league system, because the money that the minor leaguers make is detracting athletes. It's what it is. Or
should they go ahead?
Do you? I mean, but what can they do to make sure that there is a diverse amount of interest, and that's what we'll call it, because there should be a diverse amount of interest in the game.
Correct. Yes, and I get what we're saying. Like, we're saying that it like somehow entails a lot of not segregation, but what's the word I'm looking for? Discrimination. Like, we're basically there's a little bit of discrimination in there, I think, but like also I'll make another point. So you can play basketball 2-on-2, right? You can play basketball 1-on-1. Less amount of people. So like, not many black dudes interested in baseball. Even when there is black dudes interested in baseball in a neighborhood, are you going to get 9 of them that are interested in baseball? Because that's how many it takes, like 10 of them, really. I mean, if you're going to have a batter and like rotating, that's when you're running other people. Like, you got to have a lot of kids to play. Yeah. Like, like when you were a kid playing basketball, you could play 2-on-2 easy. You could play 1-on-1 easy. You could play with one other person. You know what I'm saying? In baseball, you basically have to have, I mean, at least 15, right? Because you have to, or what is it? It's a lot to like actually play a baseball game, like pitch and catch and everything. It's a lot. And like, that might be an issue of it too. And everybody has to have gloves. Like, and it's exactly what you're saying, basically. But like, are you going to find that many they're interested in it?
With basketball and football, you just need the ball. That's it.
Right.
That's all you need. And like wiffle ball, I think that I see a lot of wiffle ball videos on Facebook, like in reels and stuff like that, where these guys are throwing pitches and it's got like just
6 feet of slider curve. Like, there's like 6 feet of slider curve. Like, it comes like it's almost like a bowling ball, just way out there. Yeah.
Like, I think honestly, I legitimately believe that utilizing wiffle ball could be a great way, because it's really fun to watch that ball corkscrew.
Right.
And then you're also trying to you're trying to do a lot with a plastic bat and a plastic ball that really, in the grand scheme of things, isn't going to go very far. So there's a lot of strategy, and it's it's a great way to work on quickness and awareness.
It's a lot like slow pitch. It's a lot like slow pitch in that sense, where it's like, it's skills that you don't really have to be good at, but you have to be good at that specified skill in slow pitch. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to be able to hit a ball that somebody's lobbing to you, which isn't as easy as it seems like. Like,
it is.
You just can't you can't overswing at it. Everybody just wants to fucking kill it. Just like, boom, kill it as hard as they can. It's not what you need to do. You need to place it. Like, you're not just going to be able to hit homers the whole time. Like, you're going to have to like place it, try and hit it in certain spots, right? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're right though. Like, it's great for directional hitting. Which I think is a lost art in baseball. There's a lot of fundamentals for baseball that you can get out of wiffle. And I feel like I feel like there is a way that you could utilize that to help generate more interest. And the good thing about wiffle ball is you don't need a glove, and you can play with fewer people because you're playing on a smaller field.
Right. It's almost like just shrinking the game down, because that is the biggest issue. Is like, if you're going to play with 330-foot center field, you're going to need 9 people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if you play on a smaller
for each team,
one person who's relatively athletic could play an entire outfield. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the shorter fields.
Right. Like, it's the same thing as, I think, like, if you compare it to like kickball. Okay. Kickball, realistically, you could do 5-on-5 kickball and it would be a game.
Right.
And of course it's the outside of the running, the base running, there's not really a lot that you're going to get that's with baseball in that. But just as a comparison, like when these different variants that are baseball themed, you can utilize them for things like fundamentals and interest, because that can, over time, I would think, trickle into interest in the game and ways that kids that are interested in the game can play it without needing to get 4 neighborhoods involved just to get something done. Because like, you remember, we grew up watching Hey Arnold, where they had that baseball field that all those kids would go and play to.
Sandlot.
That was like 4 blocks of kids, man, to make that happen.
Sandlot. There's like 10 of them.
Sandlot.
They just rotate batters. Yeah. Yeah, they just play in an actual game, and they're not actually playing against each other because it's basically like all of them are batting, and then all of them are playing the field. So it's like 10 of them, but you just rotate. I mean, that's how you used to do it. But still, that's like
that's what we would do.
Dude, there's not going to be 10 black dudes who are interested in baseball. Like they're just not going to be. Like it's just a natural path for them is to play fucking the more athletically gifted sports, I guess. Because I don't know. Well, it's just they're good at it immediately too.
I want to ask a question here, and it brings me back to the fact, when mentioning the fact that Dusty Baker was asked about this, the press actively asked about this. Why are there not more conversations about when there's not black players on the ice in hockey?
Yeah, well, okay. So one of the big things about that is the Major League Baseball is the only sport really that went through an actual diversification. They went through what do you call it? Well, obviously they went through segregation. And
there was segregation with the Negro Leagues, right? And the barrier, Jackie Robinson broke down. Right. That's okay. So you think it's because of that it's still part of the conversation?
Yes. Yes. I think that, because they went through a public desegregation where they were kind of nasty about it, but they had the disadvantage of being around in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like they were already around, like it was already an established professional sports league in the 20s, so like they've just been around for longer. So like they had to go through this stuff, but they're also going to get looked at really tightly because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to be, and a lot of people think they did it way too late because the Negro Leagues were clearly as good. Right. So you have people just saying like, oh yeah, they should have done it before that. But
and you're like, no, it shouldn't have been an issue to begin with. And I think it's fantastic that the league now recognizes Negro League records as MLB records, as they should.
Right.
That
just to specify, I'm obviously good.
The fact that took time. Yeah. It's the fact that took time for that to actually come together was just fucking stupid.
With the social climate at the time and everything,
color barrier gets broken in 47. The only other World Series. So, and the Dodgers, that was the first year that there was an African American World Series. It was Jackie Robinson.
Right.
1950 is the only other World Series up to this point where there weren't American-born African American athletes on the field. Okay. So obviously we're at 70. So we'll say since that last World Series without U.S. born African American athletes, 76 years. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
The Negro League records getting added into professional records was within the last 5.
Yeah.
Why?
It's so crazy, dude.
Why?
It's so crazy. The best part about the Jackie Robinson thing and the best part about the Jesse Owens thing is like, not only were they some of the first black dudes to do what they did, if they would have sucked, it would have went really bad for everybody. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it really would have, but they were fucking awesome. Those dudes, like Jackie Robinson was clearly probably top 5 in all of Major League Baseball, like his first year, basically. He was like one of the top 5 players in baseball.
His rookie year stats were stupid.
It was ridiculous. Like he was already doing it, bro. And the thing is, the fucked up part is there was better dudes that they asked before that. I'm sure you know this, but like there was dudes who were better in the Negro Leagues who they asked to do it before, and the dudes were like, "Fuck that, man!" Like a lot of them were just like, "No, no, no," because I totally get it. Like I'd be like, "No," but like there were dudes who were better, clearly, like a lot of them.
But check this out.
He just came in and dominated.
His rookie year, so 1947. Rookie of the year, 297 batting average, 175 hits, 12 homers, 48 RBIs, and 125 runs scored in 151 games.
151. He was just fucking awesome. He hit leadoff.
That means he averaged more than 1 hit a game.
Still played 176 is a lot. I mean, that's you get into the over 150 areas and you're in like what, the top 20 in the league, or you're in the AL or no?
I mean, yeah, I would assume. Hold on.
Still played fucking 10 years in the pros, despite being he was like in his 30s, wasn't he? When they finally, yeah.
Okay, so to put it into perspective, Aaron Judge this season, 157 games. Okay, so that is 6 games more. And Aaron Judge led the league in hits in 2022. Aaron Judge had 177 hits for the 2022 season.
Yeah.
2 more. That's only 2 more than Jackie Robinson had on 6 more games.
Yep.
That's insane.
Played the entire infield. Played every position in the infield besides pitcher and catcher. So he played first, second, shortstop, third. Was 28, by the way, when he came over from the Negro.
Oh, was he? Okay.
So still, I mean, he's in his athletic prime, but still, those are years he could have played before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, had
absolutely
7 more years, probably.
He realistically, in today's league, he would have come up at 2021, and he probably would have had an MVP before 28.
Oh yeah,
or at least those kind of numbers. Yeah,
or at least been close. I mean, what? Yeah, he goes 1949, 203 hits in 156 games. Stole 37 bases, 16 homers, 37 steals, 124 RBIs.
He was a great contact hitter. Just so clutch. A clutch contact hitter. I when I was in 4th or 5th grade, we did some stuff where we talked when we were I think it was really the first time I remember in school talking about the civil rights movement. And part of the unit is we all did research projects on different people. And I got Jackie Robinson. I think my teacher gave me Jackie Robinson because he knew I loved baseball so much. But I did so much research on him because, it was, like I said, 4th or 5th grade. So it was a 1-page report. But I think I checked out 15 different books from the library.
Right.
Because I was just so fascinated. And his numbers throughout his career, it frustrates me because it's another example of league owners shooting themselves in the foot. Because think about how much money baseball could have made with a guy like Jackie Robinson with 6 more years. And I'd be willing to bet he probably would have had a longer career had he been able to play his full career in the majors like he should have been. And the reason that I say that is because with everything that the African American ball players had to go through in the Negro leagues, they were sleeping on, they lived on buses. They couldn't go in to eat at all restaurants. They didn't have the best quality of food. If those obstacles aren't in the way and he's able to take care of himself, I guarantee you we get more time out of Jackie Robinson. And we get more out of him in his prime too.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, and how about guys before that even?
Yeah.
Back to the teens and 20s, dude. Like there was already dudes in the Negro leagues that were just as good. Clearly as good. And that's before the NFL. And so there was black dudes playing baseball. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there absolutely was, because that was one of the only sports that you could actually go pro in at that time that was actually lucrative. Like that's why baseball is called the America's pastime, because
back at that point, basketball wasn't very profitable, was it?
Dude, there was no professional leagues around in 1919 and 47. No, there was probably. I think the ABA and the NBA.
I was going to say the ABA and the NBA. I thought they were around in their infancy at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was going to say I didn't think that there was very many. Because really, even still, because I remember when I was on Winter Meetings, my baseball podcast is Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern.
10 and 10.
I got to interview a guy by the name of Mike Carrion. His dad, Camilo Carrion, played for the Chicago White Sox in the 60s. And so he grew up there. We had pictures of him in the dugout and all of that. It was really legitimately cool to talk to this guy and talk about his dad. But even when his dad went to, so he was a rookie in 62.
62.
62. Okay.
I hate to be that guy, but like, are any of the records legit before 62 then? Because I don't like Latino dudes are fucking amazing at baseball, and they weren't letting him play until 1962.
He wasn't one of the. He was one of the first Mexican American. Now I don't know about other Latinos. So I can't say, and I don't want to be misquoted. I don't want to say anything incorrectly on that. But like,
right? No. I hear you.
His dad was Mexican. His dad was American born, but his grandparents were immigrants from Mexico. But Camilo in 1962 was one of the first Mexican American born players in the major leagues. Even at that point, it still wasn't believed that you could actually make a living as a professional baseball player in 1962. Like, and baseball had been around for 60 years at that point. Professional baseball had been around for over, because the American League started in the late 1800s. So
it was Roberto Clemente.
Well, yes, Clemente was the first one.
Well, they're going all the way back to like the 30s here. I mean, Lou Castro. So, I mean, yeah, Lou Castro played in like the early 1900s, and they're saying that but did anybody know? Was he from? It says he was the first Latin American, but there wasn't many, and I think that was probably he was born in the United States, probably.
Yeah, and I think part of it is that he was U.S. born, but at least that's what I understood.
He was not though. I'm sorry. He was born in Medellin. Lou Castro was. Yeah. Medellin, Colombia. So.
But he talked about how he had to convince his dad, Camilo had to convince his dad that professional baseball was a way to make money and provide for a family. Because
really,
it wasn't believed at that point that was possible.
Right. That's crazy though. They were just openly paying him less and shit, weren't they? Too. Like, I don't think Jackie Robinson got paid what white players got paid.
No, I think it took some time for that to get fixed.
Right.
A lot of all those owners were racist scumbags. Anybody that wasn't white got paid less if they could find a way. Like, but they were also on the other side of it. If you were really, really good and they really, really liked you because they knew you could win them games, they would pay you more than they were supposed to, but it still wasn't enough. Because back in that point, there was actually rules on how much you could pay a player.
Right.
Like it wasn't like there was a salary cap for the team. It was no player could make over this much.
Okay. Wow.
And it was like, and I think at one point, because I remember when I was reading this book, where I interviewed the author, Ronald T. Waldo, this book, Dead Ball Trailblazers, super interesting if you like baseball. In 1901, the reason that Nap Lajoie left the
who it was like
left the American League. He was the first one to win the American League triple crown. He left the National League and went to the American League, and part of it was because in the American League salary, the cap was like $2,400 a year.
That's nuts.
Yeah, think about that for a second. $2,400 a year was all that they were allowed to pay him.
$200 a month.
And the owner of the team that he played for, which I think it was the Phillies. It was either the Phillies or the Athletics. Went and offered to pay him more than the league allowed because they wanted to keep him. And then they tried to screw him on contract stuff and make it like he wasn't allowed to leave the team when they'd only put him on certain kind of contract. Just interesting stuff in there. But so that stuff did used to exist in baseball. And I think the owners abusing it is one of the reasons why the players said, nope. Now in the CBAs, no player salary caps.
Babe Ruth was the first guy to make over $50,000 a year. Made $52,000 in 1922.
God. That's you're making that's over $1 million a year in today's terms. I would say with inflation, that's got to be over $1 million a year.
Yeah, it's probably about.
Or at
least
a $500,000. I'd say maybe $500,000 in comparison, but at least
DiMaggio was the first guy to get 100,000 in 1949. So I mean that's less than the minimum now is in every professional sport. And he was the first guy to get that was a huge contract. That's crazy.
Well, it's just when you think about even how the sport has changed over the last 30 years. If you look at Barry Bonds in '92, he signed the highest single season free agent contract ever at the time, and it was $4.92 million.
Pre-roids Barry signed an almost $5 million contract. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the biggest one ever. And that was pre-steroids.
Pre-steroids, yeah, and that's where I'm like, it baffles me that the money changed that much over this short of time, and I think it's part of it's punishment on the owners because of how much they tried to avoid paying players what they were worth. Now the price went up,
right?
Which
that's
good
crazy.
For them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, you know what I was thinking real quick about Barry Bonds? Do you think? I mean, Barry's in the Hall of Fame right now without steroids. He's already in, right? If you do hypothetically, he doesn't ever take steroids. He's still in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still in the Hall of Fame.
Because
right?
Mark McGuire's in the Hall of Fame, but it was because they didn't actually really catch him until after he was voted in.
That's the craziest thing is perception. And then you break all these old guys' records. Like Hank Aaron was a fucking legend to these guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's a legend that it's almost the same as the LeBron Michael thing. I said it every show. It's almost the thing as the LeBron Michael thing where it's just, I understand that was a golden age. And that is what you remember as being the greatest thing. And it's kind of hard to look away. They just hated Barry a lot he touched some fucking records and they thought he did it the wrong way. So I think even if he doesn't break the all-time home run record and they think he did roids, I think he's in. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that because he broke the home run record, it was oh, now we have to spotlight you because you are the number one all time and our biggest stat basically, right?
I don't know. The thing that frustrates me with the whole steroid, people getting butthurt over the steroid era, is that they're making such a big deal out of something that when you look in the grand scheme of things, wasn't really that impactful. Because over half of the league was doing it. So it was still balanced.
I haven't had a laugh like I had the other day when I looked at your clip about Barry Bonds.
Dude, the comments
are fucking fantastic. I was dude, that is beautiful. Some of that stuff is fucking beautiful. I'm oh my God, this is great.
No, and here's the truth is I picked that specifically because I knew it was going to piss people off and I was going to
ruffle some feathers.
Yes, and I don't feel bad about it because hey, that's how we grow our page is
fantastic.
Off.
There's going to be some hate if anybody ever watches the show and that kind of. There's going to be some hate, not just for you. I mean, obviously, the hate is going to be evenly spread throughout every. That's what it is.
I'm just waiting for videos on your first episode of the Hardwood last night to take off, and people are mad because you pick LeBron over Jordan.
I love it. And we're just gonna do. Me and Stax are just gonna do a fucking probably a Jordan LeBron segment of just a little bit, just to touch it a little bit, and just so that wound can never heal. We're just gonna be scraping off, you know what I'm saying, scraping off scabs just every week. It's gonna be great.
That's amazing.
I got some pushback on how the show started last night. Got some pushback on it. I don't know. They didn't like the start. I don't know.
They'll be okay.
It was only one person, so who knows?
All right. So next, we're going to talk about your hero, the man you love without question, and would happily fondle the testicles of if given the
George
opportunity.
Michael?
No, Tom Brady.
Oh, Tom. Yeah.
I
want
the athlete. Sorry, athlete.
Oh, to be Tom's son.
I should have clarified. Yes, just because you want him to kiss you on the mouth.
Just weirdly kiss me on the mouth. Make it super awkward.
Slip a little tongue against the lip just to let you know it's there.
Just
never going in. He's just knocking on the door.
I want to be his son, but even though I'm only like 7 years younger than him, 10 years younger than him, I want to be his son.
Let's say 10. Yeah, 10.
I'm your weird son who's 10 years younger than you are.
Okay, well, you're also in line to try and adopt Patrick Mahomes. So
absolutely, 4,029 and 4,029 in line right now. So we got 4,028 people to get past, and then they're dropping out like flies. They just realize it's not going to happen, so they just drop out. But I'm not giving up. One day, Pat's going to need an adoptive family, and my home is here for him. So, Pat, if you're listening, because Pat's a regular listener. Oh, that's a
all right. I want to talk about Tom Brady because
we got to
this. You know what? Okay, before we do this, we are going to take a quick break, run some ads, and then we will dive into our next topic. So stick with us. It's a great time to refresh your beverage.
You all should listen to Tony's narrating. It's awesome.
Just let it. I'm a professional voiceover artist.
Turn up the volume.
Available for gigs. Turn up the volume.
Turn up the volume. Turn up.
Don't wake up the kids. Okay.
Or do.
For all things baseball, don't miss the Winter Meetings podcast Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast. And again, Tuesday mornings on West Coast Radio at 11 a.m. Eastern. Wrap up your Monday with some laughs. Make sure to join Will, Seven, Dan the Dick Warner, and Josie as they dive into the hottest topics of the week across sports, including baseball, basketball, and the NFL. You can catch the episode live Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, or Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss the Sports Report Podcast. Don't miss Fight Night. Every Tuesday night, Will Morgan and Josie Haney break down the hottest topics of the week across combat sports, including UFC, boxing, WWE, AEW, and more. Past episodes are available on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, and each episode will air again Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss Fight Night. Tune in or tap out.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, said no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never.
That, for those of you listening on West Coast Radio that could not hear what that big screaming amount of rock was, that is the intro for the new Hardwood podcast featuring my cohort, Dan the Dick Warner, and Stats with Stacks McGee. Hey, Stacks Calhoun. Every Wednesday talking baseball. I'm sorry, basketball.
Wade Knoll. AKA Wade Knoll.
AKA Wade Knoll. Every Wednesday night talking basketball and about why LeBron will always be second fiddle to Michael Jordan.
Stacks is awesome.
And you know what? I think would be a good time before we go into our next segment. Let's show everybody the new Sports Report After Dark intro that we're going to start using next week.
Really? Okay.
You want to show it?
Yeah, let's do it. Wow.
Fucking beautiful, man.
I love it. I love it. I love how it's got that annoying alarm at the end of it. Like, I mean, that's what we're trying to do here, is just annoy people into like some kind of submission, right?
They're going to be so thankful it's over and that the show has started. They're not going to realize the show sucks.
Exactly.
That's the entire goal.
We're just trying to spring submission on you guys. That's what we're doing. Like we're just trying to spring consent. That's what we're doing.
Spring consent. Okay, so let's talk about Tom Brady. There's two things with Tom Brady that I want to talk about. And the first thing is that I think it was absolutely asinine that people got butthurt about him saying that he treats preparing for football season like it's a military deployment. Come the fuck on. You remember, because that was like a week and a half ago. I wanted to talk about it last week. We just forgot because we got distracted and went for 2 hours.
Imagine
but
that.
you remember seeing the
absolutely
stuff about that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so before I go off on this, I'll let you take this one first because I know I went off on a lot about that last one. So what are your thoughts on it?
I think that everybody should be smart enough to understand that Tom Brady really wasn't talking about, he wasn't saying that like, oh, everything's obviously exactly like the military. He wasn't fucking saying that. That's number one. Like, I understand that everybody doesn't understand that, but obviously because somebody made an issue about it, so somebody doesn't understand that he wasn't trying to say that. Like, if you take everything that everybody says and just put it under a microscope, it becomes something that it totally was not. Like,
right.
A bunch of these people didn't even watch the actual interview, though. They just saw the actual quote, right?
Yeah.
That's most people, like, didn't actually watch the video.
Yeah.
Like, I admittedly haven't watched the video on it, but I know that Tom Brady wasn't like, watch Tom Brady interview for one, and that wasn't what he was saying. So that's number one. In some ways, he's just comparing the things where you have to leave home, right? And like you write. They obviously don't write, but like they have to communicate with their families from far distances away. I get the parts he's talking about. He's obviously not saying that he's going to war. Like, oh yeah, like obviously it's as hard as like going to work. Like, no, he's not trying to say that. Just making comparisons. No. And yeah, did he use the wrong fucking phrase? Yeah, but like if you would we sit here and analyze everything that all these guys say, and that's why they don't ever fucking say anything. People are always like, oh yeah, 100%, lots of effort. Everyone did good out there today. Like, that's every answer you get because they can't say anything. Yeah, like what do you want him to say? You want him to be honest so you guys could fucking rip him apart the whole week?
And that's really what pisses me off. It's like I myself, having grown up in a military family, have compared what athletes coming out of being in their sport, going back to civilian life, to people in the military transitioning to civilian life. Now, obviously, there are some differences. And there is this difference in the psychological impact of being in the military versus being a professional athlete.
Duh. Fucking duh, guys.
Duh.
That's the main.
Why does somebody have to say shit like that? That's what pisses me off about this. Like, people were like, now granted, the things that Kanye said over the last couple of days have obviously snowballed, and he just turned a shit fire into a shit fire.
What did Kanye say? I didn't. Something Republican.
There's something very anti-Semitic.
Right wing. A little bit right wing.
No, not really. Just super anti-Semitic.
Those guys are so smart. They saw a prominent black rapper who, like, just him though. They were like, "Fuck, man! Like, this can be the black guy on the Republican team." And they're like, "He can be. Like, we need to make him." And they just give him a bunch of money and see if like that's who Kanye is at this point. He's let himself be a little bit of a social pawn. Sorry, I mean that's what it seems like.
But back on topic. Like,
sorry.
With Brady,
what do you say?
The normal stuff. I'll send you the stuff on Kanye later.
Okay.
But with Brady, the normal stuff, saying something like that, he shouldn't have to defend and explain these statements or apologize for them.
Definitely not apologize. I mean, I can see where they'd be like, "Hey, just some clarity real quick." Like, I get that, I guess, but like,
I mean, in the moment,
he shouldn't have to.
But like, really, he shouldn't have to. There are people that legitimately say things they shouldn't, and we ignore them every day. But
yeah,
when this one guy compares what he does to something that somebody in the military does, because it was anything right there, of course. Oh no, Pat Robertson's going to have another heart attack.
I legitimately think that Tom Brady probably, like, my honest guess is that Tom Brady probably does think that his life is as hard as it, but that doesn't mean, like, I think that he probably does, because we're showering fame and like a pedestal to this man, and then saying that something that he does is not as significant as something else that he has nothing to. I don't blame him for that opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably literally thinks that it's not right, but like he probably honestly believes that. Wouldn't you think?
I know
he knows he's not risking. He knows he's not risking his life, but he knows he's not risking his life in defense of his country. Obviously, he knows that. But like, I think in his own mind, he does actually probably believe that it's at least like, he can compare them.
He should be able to say that comparison without getting judged, because clearly he's not comparing what the sacrifice that he makes as a professional athlete to that somebody that goes to war. Of course not.
Yeah.
Like, nobody in their right mind would think that's what he's saying.
And that's not what I'm saying either, but like,
and also with his, I would think with his education, I don't think he thinks that. I mean, he's smart.
No. I'm not saying like he think. Okay, let me.
So explain it. Help me understand what you're meaning, because I really wasn't. I may have missed what you were saying there.
I think that because of Tom Brady's position as not just being like a quarterback in the NFL, which is already prestigious enough, he's considered the GOAT, like the greatest of all time, top of the line pedestal. I think that he thinks it's as difficult. Let me just reframe. Like, he thinks it's as difficult as doing a military job. The sacrifice and all that aside, like the actual job part, I think that he thinks is equivalent to a military job. Does that make sense? Like the actual act of being.
So really, what I'm saying is there are certain things where there are parallels. Obviously, there are circumstances outside of those parallels that show the true contrast of the two. But there is, if you were to try and make a Venn diagram of being a professional athlete in the NFL and being in the military, there would be a few things that would be in that center. Like, it exists.
Absolutely. And the training itself probably is harder in a professional sport, but I'm not, that's obviously what the job entails aside, because obviously what the job entails here is what makes being in the military a much harder position as a, what I'm saying? Like, as a person, like, that's clear. But I think if you ask Tom honestly, he'd probably say that like he was just talking about, I can't guess, obviously I can't read the fucking guy's mind, but like I would say that he's probably talking about the actual profession and like going away for like it's kind of the profession in itself is actually kind of the same. Like, obviously not the sacrifice of like, yeah, you're getting shot at. That's a little bit different than like going out there and playing a game. But I think what he's saying is maybe just the profession of it. I don't, because that's how he's going to think about it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing is there are some similarities, and it's not being a dick to compare them. It doesn't devalue what those in the military go through, because there's a couple of things in common. People in the military go to strip clubs and get crabs. People that aren't in the military go to strip clubs and get crabs. Are we not allowed to compare them?
Right. Man, I got crabs like I was in the military, bro. Like, you know, like people it's bad about that. Weird.
Went to South Korea and got a wife just like I was in the Air Force.
Bam. Exactly. You know, because we're not Tom Brady, though. You know, I don't know if Tom Brady said that I got crabs like I was in the military. You know, we probably be like, all right, is Tom fucking nuts? Is he's insane now, right? Like, what? Why would he say that? No. Yeah, I mean, it's just all about who he is. It's really that's really the actual issue. And like, because if fucking Julio Jones says that, are we really like? We'd be like, okay, well, maybe it would be in the news for like a day, and then they'd be like, yeah, he didn't really mean that, and it'd be over with, right? It's just because it's Tom.
And I think that's one of the reasons why it had so much press is because it was Tom. It's just like really like there are so many more fucking important things to talk about.
And that devil person got a divorce, Tony. He got a divorce, and that's a sin. He's a sinner.
Well, he's already been divorced once, so he was already a sinner, you know. Can't be a
Catholic. Oh yeah, he was. Was he married to her though? I don't think he was married to the first girl. I know her name.
It's an actress.
Bridget. Okay, it was Bridget Moynihan Brady. What Bridget Moynihan Brady?
Yeah, they were married.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so he already was a sinner. Mm-hmm. That goddamn sinner, Tom Brady. That's also, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just his image has taken hits. Just I think they're trying to like what we talked about like last night and on Monday, on Monday, I think. Like when the fame, people want to tear you down from the fame, dude. Like Tom Brady is too high. Like he's setting off the balance of some weird thing that people do where like he can't be perfect, right? He can't be perfect. So we got to fucking do something to make him look not perfect. And he obviously timed it not well with the divorce. And then I don't know. It's because of who he is.
Right. So, okay. So you mentioned the divorce. We'll use that to segue into the second part of the Tom Brady topic.
There's a
are
second
you
part
as
about
sick
Tom?
as yes. We get to talk about Tom twice. I know.
I bet he wears MeUndies.
He wears MeUndies.
MeUndies? You don't know about MeUndies, Tony?
Wait, is that one that I see the ad on Facebook where it's like the matching pair for a couple?
Yeah, Bill Burr's like the fucking like he's all about it on his podcast. Bill Burr.
Yeah, okay.
He talks about MeUndies all the time. Well, I think he has a MeUndies sponsorship because he like actually wears MeUndies. And there, dude, just doesn't all things aside about the awesome graphics and stuff they have on them, like fucking Simpsons and all that kind of shit, like dinosaurs and fucking Jurassic Park, which is right down my alley. They're super comfortable, like the most comfortable underwear. I literally don't even like to wear any. I don't wear any other underwear. They're fantastic.
Oh, you have some?
Dude, I have like, how many pairs do we have? I have like 8 or 10 pairs probably. I have 12 pairs, which are like.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. I get a new one every month. They come out with like new themes and shit. Like I have.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Bacon. I have bacon and eggs. I have 2 Game of Thrones ones. I have a couple of weed ones. Simpsons. Yeah, they're awesome. It's like fucking Hot Topic for just underwear in that place.
Oh, fantastic. So is it one of those like subscription boxes where you like just like they send you a new pair every month, you pick what you want?
Yep. You just pick whatever ones you want. And like there's a bunch of different, and then they had just like normal colors if you're not into the whole decal thing. But which I'm totally into the decal thing. But they're the best part about them, most ridiculously comfortable underwear ever. Like the fabric is awesome. They're great. Fantastic.
I may have to check this out. Okay.
You have to. Anyway, we got a subject, but MeUndies, yeah. Hey, hit us up, MeUndies. I'll do a fucking rep on you guys all day because I'm an actual user. ESPN. Summon ESPN.
Okay. So the other piece about Tom Brady I want to talk about. I'm really kind of sick of people talking about, is the divorce causing him problems on the field? Are you fucking serious?
Yes. I'll give you guys the answer.
any man going through divorce is going to suffer in their professional performance. It happens. Most employers, when you say, hey, I'm going through a divorce, they just stop paying attention to your production for 6 months as long as it's not stupid bad. They're just like, all right, I got it. Just be here, do what you can. We get it. You know, at least the good ones do.
I was going to say, I don't think that's most. I think that's the good ones for sure. That's how it
the
should
good ones
be.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think most of them just forget about it.
But
and then
like,
when your performance suffers, it's like, why is that? Yeah. Oh shit, yeah. They get it once they think about it. They're like, oh shit.
But for me, it's like, when I think about that situation, my thought immediately goes to Tom's kids. They still go to school. Their parents, right. They may have, their friends may be like rich parents, but you really think it's possible that Tom has them in a school where all of their friends' parents are just at the same celebrity level you are? No, because Tom Brady is at a completely different level.
Right.
And so these kids have to deal with those looks and the whispers. Like, let the man have a fucking private life.
And the kids don't care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the kids are going to know, dude. It's on ESPN. Like, he's obviously Tom Brady. Like, they all not only know that they're Tom Brady's kids, like, they know all about, like, his dad, their dad going through a divorce and everything. Cause it's just like on every, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's on every sports channel. Like, that shit is to be common knowledge. Yeah, it's common knowledge at this point. It's crazy.
Like, if I wanted another reminder that Tom Brady was getting a divorce, I would go watch the last game he played in a Patriots uniform.
Was it bad? Like the commentators?
Well, the commentating, it was pretty heavily talked about.
Jeez.
But you also look at, like, that was his divorce from Belichick. Like, that's the only one that I, as a fan of football and as a sports fan, need to really have a bunch of knowledge about.
Care about. Yes, mention it, but don't follow every fucking development in the goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just making it so much worse. Like, yeah, we get it. He's getting a divorce. Can we move on from this?
But if my private life was dissected and discussed as deeply and as frequently as people like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, those super mega athletes. If my private life was talked about and dissected and discussed that much, I would turn into Antonio Brown. Yeah. I would lose my fucking mind without the Vontaze Burfict hit ending my career.
Yeah, absolutely. I imagine, like, dude, I live in a small town. So, like, you know about this, like, everything that you do here, dude, like, people know about it. And, like, they love to talk about it because there's not very many people, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they, like, know a lot of stuff about a lot of different people. If the opinion of me and, like, that shit went on everywhere that I went, dude, like, people actually knew that, like, just, you know, or had their perception of what, dude, I would fucking blow my brains out. I'm not kidding. It would be ridiculous. Like, that would suck. And, like, that's what it is.
That's my point, though. Like, for me to be sitting here looking at this and just being like, why do I keep seeing article after article after article about this? I don't need to know about it. It is not relevant to my day to know that Tom Brady and Giselle are getting a divorce. Now, Pete Davidson probably wants to know that they're getting a divorce because that seems to be his move. And I swear to God, if Pete Davidson pulls it off, nobody can question that he is the god of men. I'm just going to throw that out there.
What's he doing? Oh,
because Pete Davidson is no longer with Kim Kardashian. So, I mean, Pete Davidson makes a play on Giselle. That's
just swoops right in there.
And Pete Davidson swoops in there and snatches up Giselle. Like, at that point, you really can't question his godlike status anymore.
Fame wise, he can't really get that much higher. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's worked his way up the line now to a point where he can't really get that much more famous, except for, you know, right? And then except for Giselle. I mean, that's she's in the next tier probably, or at least, right
that's
there.
How he fucks his way into the next tier.
If that's his game, that wiener just must be just like look like an extra long cheese coney from Sonic. Like
it's got to have its own elbow. Like
there's something going on there. Did you? He did a stand-up joke that was so fucking funny, dude. He talks about the first chick that dumped him. That she was a really famous hip hop artist. I can't remember her name now, but she put out a statement and said, "Yeah, things didn't work out. Great dick though." He's doing the stand-up joke, and he said, "Do you know what that's like?" He's like, "Now every chick I ever am with expects that." he's like, expects me to be. He's like, they're just high expectations are so high. He's like, and I'm just disappointing.
You see, and ladies, if any women actually come across this show, which I don't think they would, but let's say you're still around because you really don't have anything better to do. Don't ever do that to us. For the love of God, no. Let us keep the expectations low, because the guys that set the high expectations usually don't deliver. The guys that have set the lower expectations, at worst, he's right, and you knew ahead of time.
Above and beyond.
But, on average, he's going above and beyond. He was all right. He's all right. You don't need nothing up. Oh, yeah, it was great. If you want to go below, look, that's between you and God. But he's all right. This is the line. Don't go above it. No, oh, yeah, it was good. It was good. No, he's all right.
Keep it there. But why would they want to do that? Because obviously, if it's not, it's being talked about in that sense, then obviously they're probably not with you anymore and don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just like, fuck it. I think that's basically what it was with her. She's just like, yeah, great dick though. Like just fuck. It might have been a strategic move. I have no idea, but yeah, he was like his stand-up about it is fucking hilarious.
Because think about how. Here's the thing though, especially with him being a celebrity. Think about how crazy some women are. They're like, I want to go after Pete Davidson because he's famous. And all of a sudden you see the words great dick, though.
Star fuckers.
Women in search of great dick will murder for great dick.
And he's, he's got the rep, apparently. Crazy, though, because he wasn't big until what? I mean, he's obviously originally a stand-up comedian, but famous-wise, this has happened pretty quickly.
I think his rise really started with the
movie. His movie. What is it called? They live in Staten Island. I think it's called Staten Island something.
I was thinking about when he was on that roast.
Oh yeah, that too. Killed it.
Yeah, because his work, because there was 2 years in a row he was on the Comedy Central roast. I think it was the one in 2015 and the one in 2016, and that was really when I started to see him come up. And then he got to SNL 4 years ago.
Right. So he's been middle of the road, but now with I feel like it happened about the time. Yeah, the roast and the roast clip might have came afterwards though, because I think that was quite a while ago. But his movie Staten Island something. I'm trying to look it up. Just open a new tab and guess who's on there? Big face right in the middle of it. Kanye West, Piers Morgan interview. It's listening to us.
Wait. Kanye, hold on.
You didn't. So Kanye did
Kanye West and Piers Morgan.
Yeah, apparently. Ooh. I just opened it up. It's on Facebook Watch.
That's 5 different flavors of Fruit Loops in that interview.
Contains moderately strong language, is what the warning says.
Duh.
He has the Viper Room 2024 camouflage hat on. The Viper Room for 2024. Gonna watch that later. Because I need to see that. That's probably something.
Yeah.
That's useful information.
That's gonna be That's gonna be educational, life-changing information if it's Kanye and Piers Morgan.
I watched Jordan Peterson and Piers Morgan the other day. Good interview.
Man, on the Kanye stuff really quick. There's one line that has crossed for me, and it really pisses me off. They closed the Yee Academy. the academy that he had going.
Yeah,
they shut it down.
It was a music school, wasn't it?
Because of what the anti-Semitic and hateful comments.
Wow, I just need to see it now. Is basically
the shutting down a school. Really? Like, we're now going to take these kids out of their education in the middle of the year and end the school year early and make them go to other schools like, oh yeah, we'll be back next year. Why?
For what?
Because here's the thing. Parents now are having to find their kids to do school and get them completely, reroute and completely upend their routine with no notice. And then like, oh yeah, come back next year. Really? You think I'm going to come back and wager Kanye not saying something stupid again on my ability to make it to work on time without getting fired?
So nope. the people who shut that down probably drive a Ford, right? Did you guys know who founded Ford? Okay. So we've let, in sake of a good company who helps people, we've obviously let their owners be complete pieces of shit. But no matter what he said, why is that it shuts his business down? That doesn't happen to anything but famous people, by the way. Doesn't happen to anything but famous people.
Those kids should not be suffering, okay? Because I have not seen the extent of everything that Kanye said, but short of him saying, I'm going to kill all those kids.
Right. Yeah. Or he's going to do something weird to him or make him, be in a bad school. Yeah. Outside of that.
I need somebody to explain this to me like I'm fine, because it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not condoning any hateful comments by anybody, but why are we making kids suffer and their education suffer and their opportunity to get a musical education suffer because somebody said something that they shouldn't have?
To be politically correct, you're shutting down a bunch of kids' schooling.
That's
weird.
That's literally failing them and completely missing the opportunity to teach them.
If that happens to a local guy in Phoenix or in Nebraska or whatever, and he's just a racist, comes out in some small interview and says some racist things, and he has a music school, they don't shut it down. They don't.
He may lose some business, but
he might lose business, and he might. It's obviously going to be frowned upon, if people actually see the stuff. But they're not going to shut it down. Yeah, and obviously with the kids involved, if it's a fucking shoe factory, you know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe whatever. But it's a school. it's a little bit different. There's other people that are impacted by you wanting to be politically correct, which is not. And people would lose jobs at any factory, though. Obviously, people lose jobs and shit. But.
Right, and I'm all about holding somebody accountable for saying things that they shouldn't have said. I don't have a problem with accountability. What I have a problem with is when you're going to punish other people for that person's accountability in a useless way. These kids suffering doesn't teach them anything but that you can't ever mess up, or you can literally lose everything for one mistake. And that is not the way that that's not what we should be teaching kids. We should be teaching kids it's okay to fail.
Right. And in the broader sense, for sure. But it's also it teaches them that you can't speak your mind at all, which is that's the weirdest thing about the whole cancel culture, is that they're literally trying to be liberal, right? And be freedom for everybody while also deleting it. At the same time, that's a form of fascism.
And that's the thing is the definition of liberal is being able to accept other people's opinions, even when they're different.
When they differ from yours, yeah.
And that's the true definition. And by that definition, yeah, I'm liberal.
It doesn't say liberalism is accepting other people's opinions if you think they're correct. It's accepting other people's opinions and being willing to discuss them. Not if they align with yours, then they're cool. But then absolutely burn them at the stake if it's not. And if even bad ones, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like even if their opinion is bad, you still have to, you know what I'm saying? You still have to respect it.
One of my favorite things to do is when I find somebody that's actually racist, like that. Hey, I've had a couple of people, like when I lived in Canberra, there's a couple of people I knew that actually hated black people. There was one time I was talking to this guy because I worked with him at the restaurant that I worked at. And he was saying shit one night about a black manager that wasn't there that night. And I asked him, I said, why do you hate black people, man? Why? And he starts going off on the usual tangent. And every time he would say a different thing, I would ask him to back it up. What do you mean?
Yeah,
like you know, oh, they're all just living off welfare. Really? That's not possible. Where did you see those numbers? Show me the statistics. And you know, okay, well, what about? And he just kept going on. I wore him out. I because I didn't get confrontational. I didn't raise my voice.
No need.
There's no need. Just keep asking them questions because you get to see the heart of somebody in that thing. In that instance, you get to see all the anger and the hate that's so misguided. And
right. And a lot of people who have the racist tendencies tend to not want to think about it, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, or go any deeper into it because they probably at their heart know that that's probably not the right, like, but they're just going to kind of move on from it and ignore it. And basically like, oh, that's stranglehold your beliefs, right? Like that's what it is. That's just what it is. And like, they don't ever, so it's not, I just don't think they're thinking about it as very much. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of just putting it on the back burner. That's how it is.
More often than not, in my experience in modern day, it's because of how they were taught.
Right. And that's just what it was, even though they probably know that it's not.
And most people, when given a reasonable opportunity to learn new evidence, change their stance. And it may take time to get past biases. That's a thing. But you know what? The truth of the matter is, it's if you can get past that first part and just teach them, no, this is one of those things too, you're already doing better. But if nobody is going to take the time to sit down and say, okay, well, why do you believe this? Okay, show me facts.
That's a lot of
here's the reality of the situation. Like, literally just give them the opportunity to state their position. Don't interrupt them. There's no value in that. That you don't keep control of the situation. When my wife misunderstands something that I do, I'll use this as an example. We're having an argument. We don't yell in my house anymore. Don't have to. My wife's mad at me, like she'll be frustrated and she'll start to feel like she's going to yell. She's speaking in a very stern tone. I was like, hey, all right, so explain it to me how you're seeing this. And then I just let her go.
Right. And in that you actually do get useful nuggets of why, you misunderstand.
Because maybe there are things that I don't understand for why she feels the way she does. And I've,
there definitely
changed my opinion about my behavior mid-argument, because once I understood how she shot, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I was being a dick. I was being a piece of shit. But the way that we keep control in our house is everybody gets the chance to speak their mind. You may not be right. In fact, you're gonna be wrong. But you will at least get the chance to speak so that you know that you were heard throughout the entire situation. And it's a lot easier for people to listen when they feel heard themselves. And so it's just about, why? Okay, well, what about this? Ask questions. If somebody truly believes something, you start asking questions, they will tell you.
if not only for the fact that it not only will help them, it will help you understand the situation. You know what I'm saying? As well. So that's obviously going to mutually help.
You don't have to agree. I was listening Saturday night. I went out to karaoke. And the bar that I go to, it's in a bad part of Phoenix. If you look up the neighborhood on Crime Spotter, it's just all dogs, just fucking everywhere.
Right. That part has music.
And the bar is frequented by a biker gang. Most of the individuals in this biker gang are black.
Oh yeah, you've told me about this place.
And never any problems. We don't have any fights. In the 3 years I've been going to this bar, there was gunshots one time, and it wasn't even in or near the bar. It was in the parking lot next, like 100 yards away.
That place basically has the best bouncer staff of all time.
Yeah, because that biker gang knows that that's their spot where they can come and actually hang out and have, not have to worry about BS. And so there are no problems. And I was sitting out. We parked up close because Amber's knees were bothering her. And I was just sitting on the back of because I have an SUV, just sitting on my back end, smoking, scrolling through my phone. So I go back in and have another drink. And two of these people that were in the biker gang, it was this chick and this dude, start talking. And they discovered that one of them was raised a Crip and the other a Blood. And I listened to them talk about, they each talked about why they were, they'd come up from where they were. These two individuals were both in the same biker gang.
Right.
And they talked about it. And they're like, oh, okay. But we cool. We in the same spot. We cool. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was the entire conversation. Like, they both understood, they felt heard about from their side, but that they understood that there was still the ability to just agree to disagree and move on.
It's like duality personified there.
Yeah.
Two sides of the same coin type of thing.
Like, it's just, we're all human. But, okay, before we wrap up tonight, one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Your favorite player to ever play for the LA Lakers.
Magic?
Russell Westbrook.
Just kidding. Russ? Oh, Taylor Horton Tucker?
Taylor.
What are you talking about him for? THT? What are you going to talk about him for? Kendrick Nunn?
So, obviously, you've had time after being on Harvard last night, probably after you went back and got to take a look at what was going on with that game.
It's obviously Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
For all the white guys. Austin Reeves. Yeah.
Anyway, went back and looked at it. Russ is sitting on the sideline because he didn't play last night because the hamstring industry just key on the sideline over on the bench.
Yeah.
As Skip Bayless said it this morning. That's how he described it.
You know what he's talking about when he says that.
Yeah. Like,
it's a good descriptive.
But they were talking about it, and he said that how bad the Lakers played last night was actually to Russ's benefit because it showed that they need him. He said that it could help Russ's case because they were worse without him than with him. I would let you tee off on this first, but I'm just going to start with I disagree.
You disagree with the fact that he said Russ Westbrook not playing looks like, oh yeah, somehow to fans and everything, it looks like they need him on the court. Basically what you're saying.
Right.
There's evidence that that's not true, and it's called 0-3 before that, and looking fucking garbage when you're on the court last year. So we've had a year and a half now, pretty much, to see that It doesn't matter if you're on the court or not. That team is fucking garbage. They're really bad. And the worst part is that it's not per personnel. Like, people immediately go to like, oh, that roster's not that good, blah blah. No, it's because of team camaraderie and whatever is going on in that locker room is weird. I'll just say it is incredibly strange.
Well, and there's
James,
not any true shooters on that roster anymore.
There isn't, but that's personnel wise, that can be fixed. Like that keeps you within 10 some games. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they are getting absolutely rolled. And when they start getting, the worst part is like when they start getting rolled, it's over.
It's
like there's no comebacks, like because that shows you that that camaraderie is not good. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's fighting to like, they're like, oh fuck it. Whenever your whole fucking team goes fuck it, you're not in a great position as far as that locker room goes. And a lot of it is, and I'll say it right here, it's LeBron James's fault. He needs a certain atmosphere and certain other people around him for that, especially at this point, for that ego to work. And you're seeing performance and problem actually lining up in a different way for LeBron James. Okay. Cause he's such a problem. I honestly don't think that he's trying to be a problem, but he is. Like he's a problem if he doesn't have the right people because of how big that ego is, I'm sure. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it is. And like he's probably hard to handle because he basically fucking runs the team. Like they call him the GM and shit. He clearly he's a huge influence and he plays with them. You know, it's not like coming from up top, like where it's like, oh yeah, let's cut this guy. And it's just an owner. So all the team can go, oh, fuck that guy. Right. And like they know that LeBron has say in it. And his play on the court has decreased. He has empty numbers at this point. He's averaging like 27, 9, and 8 or something like that. He's that good that at 38, he can just like be just fucking around out there, basically not give a shit and be 27, 9, and 8. But at the same time, they're just empty numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like he just gets a rebound when it comes off the side. He gets a couple of layups because he's still good. Fadeaway jumper every once in a while. But like he shoots 1 for 6 from 3, you know, and like he's just not as effective as he used to be. So like 2016, he was probably a fucking problem. And in Cleveland, probably the same problem, but he was carrying the team actually too. So he had a huge influence and he was carrying the team. At this point, he's 38, dude. Nobody can fucking expect that dude to be carrying this team at this point. Like they just can't.
He shouldn't. And then that's what I'm saying. Like they need to get at least 1, preferably 2 shooters, like real shooters, because without that, clearly they're not going to do anything. Because like Shannon said it this morning on Undisputed, he called them a lottery team with the way they're sitting right now. And it's kind of right.
Absolutely. And they need to win now, obviously, because you can already see the decline of LeBron James. Like you can already see it happening. It's very slowly happening, but it is happening. I mean, obviously he's not 2012 LeBron. No, that's clear. He's not Miami Heat LeBron anymore. He's not even 2016 LeBron anymore. That's very clear. And this is me saying this. I'm just being honest. Like I love the dude. I'm not going to sit here and say he's fucking, he's still the best player in the NBA. Like clearly he's not the fucking best player in the NBA anymore. Right. I mean, but I think he's still top 10, honestly. And that's higher than most people would put him. I think most people say top 25, probably. But yeah, so that's what's going on. Like he's just his productivity has started to outweigh his kind of distraction. Does that make sense?
It's and so if you are Lakers, you know, Genie Bus, Rob Pelinka, are you sending him home? Are you
sending LeBron home?
Russ. Sorry.
Oh,
talking about Russ. Are you sending Russ home? Are you just biting that bullet and taking that trade?
For the next,
trying to get a trade
for the next 2 weeks, if I'm Genie Bus, I'm getting fucked by Rob Pelinka. So I mean, wow, you know. But no, no. But if I'm Genie Bus, I literally for the next 2 weeks, I'm just on the phone with teams trying to get the best trade offer you can possibly get. And if nothing is to your specifications and you think it's that bad, you're going to have to consider cutting him. You're going to have to just consider cutting it loose. Take half the contract, buy him out. He needs to not be on the Lakers anymore at any expense. Their season does not start until that dude is off the team. It's just too fucked. Like, it's just too fucked. Nobody is going to be like, oh, yeah, we forgot about everything that happened in the last year and a half, 2 years, and we'll just start over fresh. There's no fresh starts in that situation.
No, there's not.
So it's going to have to be, you know, it's going to have to be severed. So however you're going to do that, take a shit trade. Dude, nobody fucking cares because they're going to be better with Russ off of the team, even though on paper they're definitely not better. Because I'm actually really high on Russ as a player still. Like, I think he's fine. I just think he's fucking in a bad situation. He doesn't care about shit. He's fucking playing like shit. He doesn't care.
I think when Russ goes to wherever he goes to after he gets traded from the Lakers, I think I think we see a resurgence. I think
he will send a surge.
Triple doubles. Yeah.
He'll send a surge through that team for sure. For however long it is, who knows? Probably not that long, but like it'll be a quick uptick in their, in their productivity and probably in wins, and definitely in like a sense of like, oh, this guy's playing for, he's playing for redemption. He's like the Phoenix, rising from the ashes kind of thing. And they'll play behind him for a couple of weeks, and then it'll fade away because he's not that great of a player anymore. And I think he is ball dominant. He takes a lot of shots. And so that's what immediately rubs people the wrong way. And he's kind of the same situation. Productivity goes down. Oh, you get a little bit less, harder to handle as far as your, personality and everything goes. So it's kind of the same thing that's happening with LeBron. They're just doing it in the same fucking place. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst part about it. They're both having fucking kind of meltdowns from like a productivity to how much shit you can put up with, kind of even out a little bit. And they're both doing it on the same fucking team in the same starting five. And it's like that's the craziest part about it at a very high profile level, obviously, because you have LeBron who's about to fucking pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the scoring lead. So it's like it's just at the weirdest place. How weird is the kickback going to be, Tony, when that happens? By the way, how bad is it going to be? It's going to be like that. It's going to be like that judge shit, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's going to be like the judge, like. Like if he would have passed Bonds, like who's the all-time home run champion? Is it Bonds or Judge? Like it's gonna be worse than that. It's gonna be like, well, LeBron did this and he's been playing for way longer. No, he hasn't. He hasn't though. Kareem still played longer. Kareem played what, 22 seasons? Probably was like 42, 43.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, he was old. So yeah, that's why he has a scoring record. He's not the greatest scorer that's ever played in the NBA. No one's ever gonna say that. Does his name even get brought up that often in the best scorer of all time? I mean, yeah, it does because he's obviously the all-time leading scorer, but Karl Malone's doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Karl Malone's third. So, longevity. But they're definitely going to pull that card so much. That's going to be the longevity card's going to get pulled on all of his stat stuff. Because if you look at just stats, LeBron James is the greatest player that's ever played in the NBA. If you go just statistically.
Well,
that's not even
and there's going to be a lot of the stats, and then there's also going to be the the argument about time, which obviously that's incorrect. But there's also going to be the people saying, "Oh, well, he was able to get all of those points because he spent so much time on super teams."
What?
That's the other one. That's yeah. Like I'm telling you, like you think about it, that is going to be an argument that will come out. Like think about it. It doesn't take long to think about that and go, yeah, people are going to be dumb enough to say that.
Not bad for a point guard, huh? Not bad for a guy who is most apt to being a point guard. Like if you were just to call him a position, that's what it is. It's point forward. He plays point guard. He's brought the ball up the floor basically his entire career. You know what I'm saying? Like he plays point guard. He's a better passer than he is a shooter, and he's going to be the all-time scoring leader. So statistically, there's no like he's going to be up there in fucking assists and rebounds too. Like he's going to be up there, like on the top 10s. So it's just going to be like
I think he already is.
He is. As far as that goes, I think he's like 7th all-time in assists. And rebounds, he's down there. He's in the 20s, I think, in rebounds, something like that. But
okay.
He might not get in the top 10 in rebounds because he's only averaged like 9 for his whole career. So he'll be down there in rebounds. But assists, he'll be in the top 3, probably 4. And then all-time scoring leader. So statistically, I don't think there's any way you can actually say that he's not the greatest of all time. Statistically, that's pretty much unarguable.
Dick to know! He's not Dick to know.
He's got what?
He's not 6-0.
6-0.
6-0.
Jordan walked on water before a game one time. He just walked out there. They had a pool and he walked all the way over it. I saw it. God damn it.
So before or after he got his dad
58-inch vertical. And he goes, yeah, it wasn't good enough to get his dad killed. Not get his dad killed, though. Tell you what, a degenerate.
So the dumbest conspiracy theory, but
I just say that to be funny, guys. We both know that didn't happen.
We're saying it to make fun of it, is what we're saying.
I'm actually going far enough to say that I don't know that it didn't happen, but I definitely don't know that it happened. Okay, I'll go with that stance on it. You don't think it was a little bit because of his gambling debt? I think it had something to do with it.
I'm going to err on the side of without evidence to say that it was legitimate evidence, because the one guy that said it was later revealed he was paid to say that. And, a guy in prison paid to say something?
No way. Is it outside? It's not outside the realm of possibility, though, is all I'm saying.
I mean, it's
not possible. Like the craziest conspiracy ever. It's not the craziest conspiracy ever, though.
No, there are crazy conspiracies, but I think it's the dumbest one.
I obviously don't like to put that on Michael Jordan. Even a guy who's as much of a fucking real peach as Michael Jordan is. I don't like to put that
real top tier citizen.
Right. I really am not accusing him of, but I think there actually could have been something that I don't think he consciously did it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, just kill my dad. Like, I obviously don't think that happened, but like, I think it could have been because of some shady shit he got himself into, is all I'm saying. That's fair, right?
Again, anything is possible, but like, it's just like when David Ortiz was shot when he was down in the Dominican Republic.
Right.
There was people saying that he got shot because he had ties to the mafia down there and he pissed him off, or the mob, or the gangs or whatever.
Right.
No. Somebody, there was other things to the story. It's because it's entirely possible that two things are true. Jordan had gambling addiction. We know that to be true.
And probably got himself into some shady shit because of it.
Probably got himself into some shady shit because of it. That's pretty realistic, especially at that level.
I think that's actually true.
But it's also possible that some random nutsack killed his dad one day. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, but okay.
Absolutely.
All right. For those of you that are going to be getting lost into Call of Duty this weekend, since that game officially drops in about 15 minutes.
What? Which one?
The new Modern Warfare game.
What's it called? Is it like what?
It's just Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, okay. 2.
Yeah, they're doing another Modern Warfare. Yeah, but looks good.
Sure it is.
Got some good stuff with it.
I remember seeing that game, dude, in like 2006 on PC. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It was the Battlefield. Modern Warfare Battlefield, the old, and it was on PC. And I was like, what the fuck? Dude, it was like revolutionary. That first-person shooter style and everything, like, and all the, stuff you could have.
Well, because you think about it, in 2006, Halo was a big property. That was Halo 2 was the game to play. I remember because fall of 2006, I was going to Missouri Western, and one of the best things to do in the dorms on a Friday night, if you weren't going to a party, was if you had your Xbox hooked up to the internet in there, it only connected to the network that was in the dorm. Like, you couldn't go online and play, but you could. It was like LAN playing, basically.
Right.
And so we would fill up an entire lobby and just rotate teams and just talk shit and fuck with each other. All of a sudden, we get through like 4 or 5 matches. You'd hear smoke break, and then a bunch of headsets setting down. And 5 minutes later, all of us are out in the smoking area behind the dorm. Like, even the ones that didn't smoke. Like, the first time I watched somebody do the milk jug challenge was behind that dorm.
Oh, Jesus.
Between games. Like, they literally, like, he tried it, threw up, and then we went back up and played. And then 2 weeks later, he did the cinnamon challenge. Tried it, threw up, and we went back up and played.
I did that. Have you done that? The cinnamon one?
God, no. No.
What's the milk one? You
have
to chug a gallon of milk?
Chug a gallon of milk. With that, do you have to try and chug a gallon of milk without throwing up?
Yeah. We're all a little bit lactose intolerant. That'll prove it. Yeah, that'll prove it. And the cinnamon one, I've done that. That's fucking hilarious.
Never again.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing ever, because you have to start fucking throwing up, basically, because you have to get, like, it just takes all the saliva out of your mouth. Like, people don't think about how much your saliva is, like, really important. Dude, it's crazy. It just takes all the moisture out of your mouth, and you start throwing up because you have to get something in your mouth. It's fucking ridiculous. It tastes great. I like cinnamon.
I mean, I don't like cinnamon. Yeah,
I just do it sometimes just to get the taste. They're like, there's cinnamon sugar, right? You can actually eat it. Like, no, I didn't. I just eat pure cinnamon. Just to get the taste.
So, that reminds me. So my son, like, he wanted cinnamon sugar for for toast one morning, and I was like, "Well, we've got cinnamon, we've got sugar. You're good." And he was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I come up and he had made a bowl because we have these glass dishes with rubber lids for like leftovers and shit. Right. He found one of those that was dry, figured out his mix of cinnamon and sugar that he liked, and then made it in the bowl and then put it above the cabinet so that he had his own mix of cinnamon and sugar.
That's awesome. I thought you were going to say that it was just like separated. Like he just put all the cinnamon on top and he was just like putting it on the. No, it was good.
Like he got it in there. He messed with it a little bit to where he could get the taste that he wanted out of it. Make sure it was all shook up. Like we still have some. Like he uses it. Like he still does it.
Let's just feel happy about the fact that some much stupider kid did the thing where he separated the two and then actually just put all. That happened somewhere in the universe. It did. I just find joy in
more
that.
than once.
Yes, a lot, thousands of times. Thousands of times.
All right, before we wrap up tonight, everybody, one last thing I wanted to bring up. Saturday, me and Dan will be doing a watch party on Twitch for Game 2 of the World Series. A Sports Report fan will be popping in to talk about the game with us while the Phillies are taking on the Astros in Houston. And as an added bonus, we will be doing giveaways. I have got 2 stacks of soap from our friends over at Gunslinger Soap that we will be giving away, including some beard care kits with their beard oil that you can't even get on their website right now. At least last I knew, he may have actually put it on there, but I'm just saying last I knew because, whatever.
Do you think I could just pay for like a subscription to Gunslinger and then just act like it's only because I rep it on here that I get it for free? They'll be like, "No, bro, he paid for it." I'll be like, "No,
actually, when I can put my next order in and get some, you're going to get some. I want to try. I've already worked that.
I want to try it out.
You can, because you guys have Hy-Vee there, don't you?
We have a Dollar Fresh.
Oh, but it's
Dollar Fresh is. It's like not an actual Hy-Vee.
Yeah. Okay. Next time you're in St. Joe, he does sell it. They do have it in Hy-Vee. But definitely
Hy-Vee's like the. Go ahead. Sorry, Hy-Vee's like the weird stepmom too about Dollar Fresh. They won't let Dollar Fresh brand any of their stuff like with the Hy-Vee logo. It's got to be the Dollar Fresh logo, even though it's like they're a subsidiary of Hy-Vee. Isn't that weird? Everybody like knows that it's a Hy-Vee Dollar Fresh. Like Hy-Vee won't let Dollar Fresh like brand their stuff with the Hy-Vee thing because they think it's like a redheaded stepchild or something. Isn't that weird?
So dumb.
Yeah, I worked there for a while. Like it's actually like just like a Hy-Vee, except for it's just not as big. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just for like smaller towns basically. It's kind of just like a Hy-Vee. They don't have like the huge fucking fresh meat section and shit like that. But like it's the same thing. They just don't let them. They're like, "Oh no, but you're not good enough to be in the Hy-Vee family." Hy-Vee's a bit pretentious.
Hy-Vee is very pretentious.
Very pretentious.
So for the World Series games, the Saturday game starts at 8 Eastern, so we will go live. Wait, so it's going to be 5. Okay, I should be fine. Yeah, 8 Eastern on Saturday is when the game starts. So I figure what? You want to do 30 minutes before or an hour before?
30 minutes should be good.
30 minutes? Okay. So 7:30 Eastern on Saturday, we'll be going live over on the Sports Report Twitch page. You can go to our Facebook page to get more information on that if you want. Dan and I will be calling the game along with having the guests, the other Pinfall family members joining us, along with probably some people in Sportsaholic Daily, our partner for actual news stuff. Will probably be popping in as well to talk baseball and expectations for next season as we watch second game of the World Series.
Join us as I point out every single thing that the Astros could be doing that could be considered cheating.
I cannot wait. That is going to be I cannot wait. That's my favorite part of Saturday. Make sure that you get sativa for weed since you're going to be pointing out conspiracies because you'll be more paranoid if it's a sativa, and that will make it even better.
Like I need more paranoia. That's really the.
I mean, you only live once. Why not make it shorter?
Why not? Why not live with high blood pressure? Why not? Why not? Guys?
Okay. All right. I appreciate you, buddy. For those of you watching live and after listening on Spotify and West Coast Radio, we appreciate you. We will see you next week, 10 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Don't forget, you can catch me Sunday night, Winter Meetings, 10 p.m. Eastern with Craig and Stefan. We will be breaking down results of the World Series games so far. And then Monday night, Dan and I with Will and Josie at 10 p.m. Eastern on Sports Report. We appreciate you guys. We will see you next week. Have a great night.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, said no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, said no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some